So Hungary is now in the process of launching a new golden visa. The last golden visa program I had was a bit troubled when they had the residency bond program. So what do you expect will be different this time with the relaunch of the golden visa?
I understand that this is an interesting question for people of why it would be better than the previous one. That was an indirect government bond purchase that included some counterparty risk. If the agent goes bankrupt or wants to steal the money, it was theoretically possible. Now with this program where investment fund is used, money is going there, no question. Money is going into direct property investment, there is no such chance. So it would be, that was a safe program, but it would be at this time, there will be no real chance to anything that to happen.
All right, so you're saying the whole drama about the agents, this corruption, how did they address it specifically?
In every developed country, I think there are corruption claims and so on and so on. Now, we could go back and forth of what was the corruption at that time. People probably are more interested in how the new program would work. Right. But at the end, yes, people grumbled, and at the end, the program was closed.
Can you explain to us the kind of routes that are available now and what do you expect to be the most popular one?
There are three routes. One is 250,000 euros investment into investment fund, where minimum 40% of the assets must be Hungarian residential real estate.
Okay.
So it's not shares, not equities and so on, but at least a certain part must be coming from Hungary. The second option is $500,000 direct investment in residential real estate developed by new projects. So only new properties would probably qualify. And the reason why that is, it is the money which we expected would be quite a good business, is not poured to the local population, not to the local property market, but there would be a segment which would be affected there. And then it probably will not touch information as much than if it's let like in Portugal and Greece that any properties can be bought, there are no restrictions.
Right.
The third option is a 1 million euros donation to a university. I just do not want to say that anybody would choose it because I do not know, but hardly anybody is interested in it. You could have it for a quarter of the amount where you get an investment, you get it back. Smaller amounts people sometimes prefer, and sometimes they prefer direct ownership. What would be the ratio? 60%, 250, 40%? I have just guesses, 1/3, 2/3.
Right.
Probably more about the 250,000.
Okay, because
it's smaller amount of money.
Okay. Do you feel like that this program, the impact of this program will be felt in other markets, like directly competing markets like Greece and Spain and Portugal? Do you think it will be in direct competition with those?
I have good friends from the business from Portugal, from Greece. But if I turn to my professional opinion, how trustworthy can be the Portuguese government changing the rules so many times and taking out the property component? Hungary has property component, only property component, if I say. Greece, how many times they changed it? Now it's 800,000 is the top. Hungary, it's $500,000 or 250. If I add this up, and the quality of life, which is as good as in Portugal as in Greece, money-wise, it's good. And there is one more thing, is waiting time for the approval. Last Hungarian program was 3 months. If they are processed in 3 months, then this would be the best, because you need that clients want to see the result. While in the case of Portugal and Greece, it would be it is still now much longer than 3 months. Right. So that could be a market leader for that.
Let's say the path to a permanent residency is not really clear. How do you feel the competitiveness of the program?
Yes, indeed, there is some truth that the permanent residency rules need interpretation. We have a brand new immigration legislation from the 1st of January. And when you have a law which is 152 pages long, you cannot expect that it goes without any kind of hiccups, and it doesn't raise many questions. One of the important questions, how can you convert it into permanent residency? According to our interpretation, but again, it needs the government's approval that yes, the interpretation is correct. After 3 years, when you spend most of your time in Hungary, then you could change this residency permit to another one, which is nearly the equivalent legally or economically of the permanent residency. And after 3 years of that, you get this. And after 5 years, if you spend most of your time in Hungary for citizenship, which is the current rule, 3 + 5 years.
When you say people will have to spend a lot of time in Hungary, how does it work exactly?
You cannot spend more than 270 days outside of Hungary in 3 years' time.
In 3 years, okay. So you have to spend most of your time on it. Don't you think
That's
that
why I'm
might-
saying most
Yeah.
of the time,
Right,
which
yeah.
is done. And of course, you could get an exception when you are going abroad and there is a family affair or an important business matter. So it's not taken by law as 270, but that is the ballpark figure.
You don't feel that this will make the program less competitive, like this physical presence requirement?
Maybe I'm totally wrong, but I accept reality as it is, as a reality. Whether I like it or not, we stand it here, at least start it, let's get moving. And then usually when there are questions in a program or in a law, then we have a chance a year later to think what could be the proposal or which aspects to change. Currently, unfortunately, that is one of the biggest problems, that above 18 children, dependent children, cannot be included. While I do not think that will be a problem to convince the authorities that it's going well, but many people would like to include the children. Can we do it? Well, why not? Same applies to your question also.
Right. Okay.
We expect that then yes, there would be flexibility in a program. If it's not really against the interest of Hungary, then why not to make it even better as a program?
Last question: when is it actually going to launch? When is it going to open? The program.
It is written in the law, 1st of July, the first applications can be filed.
Okay. So
And that's why I'm waiting for at least the middle of May to clarify basically all the important questions, licenses, projects and so on. And then 1st of July.